Okay, we are about to completely flip the script on what you think makes you strong. Seriously. For a minute, let's forget about getting bigger biceps. This whole explainer is about neural mastery and why the single most powerful piece of equipment you own is sitting right between your ears.
We've all heard it, right? Bigger muscles mean more strength. But what if that's only like half the story? What if, when you're pulling that bar off the floor, your muscles are really just following orders, and the real command center, the one doing the actual heavy lifting, is your brain?
And that is the question that changes the whole game. If it's not just about getting bigger, what's the missing piece of the puzzle? What's the thing that separates a decent lift from an absolutely incredible one? Well, let's dive in and find out.
So here's the core idea. It's pretty simple. Your brain is the lifter. And getting a handle on this isn't just about hitting a new PR in the gym. It's also about tackling one of the biggest things we all face eventually, losing our strength as we get older.
You know, we always blame getting weaker on our muscles shrinking. The official term is sarcopenia. But it turns out that's not even the main reason. The real problem is that the communication lines, the neural pathways from your brain to your muscles, start to break down. And why? Usually it's just because we stop telling them to do hard things.
So, let's talk about that connection. We throw around the term mind-muscle connection all the time, but what does it actually mean? Well, it's the science, the magic, if you will, of how your nervous system actually gets your muscles to fire up and produce force.
And the basic building block here is something called a motor unit. I want you to think of it like a light switch. You've got a single nerve, the motor neuron, and that's the switch. And when it flips on, it doesn't just light up one bulb. It lights up a whole group of muscle fibers. So the stronger you are, the more switches you can flip at once, and the faster you can do it. This obviously leads to a pretty important question. How good is your own nervous system at flipping all those switches? Well, believe it or not, there's a really simple way you can test it yourself. It's called the Cavalier test. Let's do it right now. Pick a muscle, maybe your bicep or your calf. Okay, now, with no weight, nothing at all, just flex it as hard as you possibly can. You're really trying to get that intense feeling where the muscle balls up, almost like it's about to cramp. If you can get that strong sensation, that is a great sign. It means your brain has a crystal clear, high-speed connection to that muscle.
All right, so if we can test the connection, how do we actually make it stronger? How do we train the brain to be a better lifter? This is where what you choose to do in the gym becomes so important. And it's exactly why some lifts are called the kings of strength building. Look, on one side, you've got isolation lifts, like a bicep curl. They're fine, great for targeting one muscle, but from your brain's perspective, it's a pretty simple task. But then you've got the compound lifts, the deadlift, the clean. These aren't just exercises, they are full body events. They force your brain to be a conductor of a massive neural symphony, getting dozens of muscles to fire in perfect harmony and timing.
And hey, let's just bust a huge myth right now, especially for the women listening. This idea that lifting heavy with compound lifts will automatically make you bulky, it's just not how it works. Your hormones are what really drive massive muscle growth. For most women, lifting heavy does two amazing things. It dramatically improves your body composition, and more importantly for our topic today, it makes your nervous system way more efficient at using the muscle you already have.
Okay, we've gone through the why. Now let's get to the how. Here's a simple, science-backed protocol for training your nervous system, and it's all built on 3 core principles to get you maximally strong.
The 3 pillars are simple. 1. Train with low reps to teach your body how to produce maximum force. 2. Lift with high intent to wake up as many of those motor units as possible. And 3. Know when to back off by assessing your systemic recovery. Let's break each of these down.
First up, low reps. Now, higher reps are great for building muscle size. We all know that. But peak raw strength, that is built in the 1 to 5 rep range. This table shows what's called a top-down approach. You'd start with a heavy set of 5, then you go even heavier for 3, then 2, and finally a max effort single. This method specifically trains your brain and nervous system to handle the heaviest loads possible.
Principle number 2 is all about high intent, and this one is purely in your head. When you're lifting a really heavy weight, guess what? It's going to move slowly. That's just physics. But your intention, what you're trying to do in your mind, has to be to move that bar with as much speed and force as you can possibly generate. It's that mental command to be explosive that tells your brain, hey, we need all hands on deck. Recruit every motor unit we've got. So remember, think fast, even when you're moving slow.
Now, for our third and final principle. This is all about recovery. And the only thing you need to remember is this one number: 10%. See, lifting heavy doesn't just tax your muscles, it puts a huge strain on your central nervous system. A crazy simple way to check if you're recovered is to test your grip strength first thing in the morning. You can even just squeeze a bathroom scale. If you see that your grip strength is down by 10% or more from what it normally is, that's a huge red flag. It's your nervous system telling you, nope, not today, we need to rest.
So let's pull all this together. This isn't just about how to lift more weight next week or next month. This is about building a powerful, resilient neurological foundation that's going to serve you for the rest of your life.
I absolutely love this analogy because it nails the entire concept. Think about it. Your muscles are the powerful engine, the passengers in the car. But your nervous system, that's the driver. You can have the biggest engine in the world, but if the driver is asleep at the wheel or just doesn't know how to drive, you're not going anywhere fast. And really, that's the bottom line here. Every single time you do a heavy compound lift with that high intent we talked about, you are doing so much more than building muscle. You are reinforcing the very neural pathways that let you stand up out of a chair, that let you carry your groceries, that keep you functionally independent for your entire life. You are literally future-proofing your body by training your brain. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about next time you're training. What's the real goal? Are you just focused on the passengers, or are you actively training the driver? Are you just building muscle for today, or are you building a neurological foundation for a stronger life?